Welcome back here to Papados. We're getting for the Division D-1 final here.
Yes.
I lost track of how it goes at this level of football here. We got the two voices that will be doing the game, Alexi Dubois and Mocon, on this Sunday evening. Alexi, we got X-Men against LRV. We have 9-1 against 8-2 of these top hitters of this division meeting up at the pinnacle of this football game here. Your quick thoughts with these two teams going at it today?
My quick thoughts are how impressed I've been with this X-Men franchise. While my knowledge of this LRV team is minuscule to say the least, I look forward to seeing the display of talent I know they have. This X-Men team is a team that has climbed up through the FPF junior ranks, has succeeded at every single level, has won championships in the past, and is now, dare I say, the youngest, most veteran team that I know in FPF. I'm thrilled to see them strut their stuff, and I'd love for you to tell me just a little bit more about this LRV team, because like many of our listeners, I presume they're slightly more of an unknown.
Well, Les Renards Vifs, led by Jacob Salve, Concordia receiver who's playing quarterback. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out with Daniel Devine and Salve going at it today. And it might come down to quarterback play here and how this plays out as we get it for the first play of the evening here.
And two very different teams. This X-Men team is smart, is savvy, is a team which can dink and dunk and produce yards after the catch. This LRV team seems to be all speed, size, and I presume this is an electric team that we're about to see.
We're going to see now the first play coming up here. It'll be LRV on offense. Jacob Salve, 38 touchdowns, 1 INT during the regular season, 63% passing, and almost 1,500 yards overall passing. So this is a young man who, as a receiver, very small in size, but plays like he's 6'4".
Plays like he's 6'4". Clearly plays QB like he has an absolute cannon of an arm. And there's nothing more impressive than a QB who can come over some of the physical attributes. And if you're already looking at it, he doesn't have a tall, imposing rusher. This is the kind of quarterback you'd presume might struggle versus the Isaiah Allards of the world. But against a rusher who probably won't be getting his face as much, who won't be getting arms up in those passing ranges, I think will really have an ability to excel because his field of vision will be unimpaired.
Well, we'll see now if he will be impaired by this defense of X-Men. And with the first play, Salve looking towards the right and a one-hopper incomplete. And the first play not going to fruition for this LRV roster.
So
that ball was intended for number 99 and Nick Knox.
And yet the first player to touch that ball was myself. The ball came right into the box. We were wondering how Salve was going to do out of the gun. Clearly a bit of finals jitters getting to the Concordia product. Not on target. The read was good. The throw was anything but.
Well, a base formation now, 2nd and 10 coming up for LRV from their own 10-yard line, trying to move the ball and get the first points of the evening. Salve to his left, going to the middle, and a one-hopper incomplete again to Nick Knox. She's gone to his snapper in back-to-back plays.
He's gone to his snapper in back-to-back plays. And again, what I'm happy about for this LRV team is that the reads are spot on. There's been separation. There's been room to produce yards after the catch. What is distressing me early on in this finals is the lack of precision. These balls have been thrown and a step ahead of the receiver. And thank God none of them have led to picks. But this is an issue that needs to get fixed now to get LRV back on track.
3rd and 10 for Salve. Rolling to his right, and that is going to be caught. And a first down for Gaston Gay. His first catch of the day. William Gaston Gay had 18 catches for 5 touchdowns during the regular season.
That is exactly what this team needed. Look, he's going to run a quick 10 out to the side of the field, right in front of our broadcast booth. Catches the ball, tippy taps his little toes for a fantastic reception. The ball was on time. The catch was immaculate. Is that exactly what the doctor ordered? Yes.
1st and 10 on a pinging pass from Salve to Gaston Gay, and a 1st and 10 for LRV. Going to the right again, incomplete for Knox once more. And we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern in this opening drive. A lot of these routes going towards the flats or towards the sidelines than in the middle.
Yes, and again, if you're look at Salve after that play, he was shaking his hand, looking at his hand. The hand clearly isn't the issue, but I think the issue is the grip. It is very hot. inside this Papineau Stadium. I am sweating. I am sweating profusely. My hands are moist. The microphone is slipping in my hands. Could the ball, simply put, be moist and his hands too wet? Let's see.
And now Salve going to the left. That's a hook. That's caught. And now cutting against the grain to the eye of the defense of the X-Men. Going left to right is St. Laurent, and he's tackled by not one but two X-Men led by Alex Lessard.
St. Laurent, some great moves on that play. Some shifty hips, yet all that slightly for naught. He ran around 5 yards laterally to gain half a yard up the field, tried to shake defenders. If this X-Men team is good at one thing, it is tackling. They are quick, sure-handed tacklers and will make you work for every single inch and blade of grass.
Inside the 20-yard line at the 19th to be exact, it'll be trips right for Salve. High snap, he gets it with ease. Now rolling to his right, going over the middle, and Peterkin just got mossed on that play by Knox. And Emerson Peterkin is one of the top defenders, one of the top Centurions on this defense, and he got beat in a 1v1.
Peterkin is one of the top players, I'd say, in Quebec for his age. This is a dominant talent who, despite I think being 16 years old, can take it to the best of them. I've seen him play in Division C and go out for jump ball receivers who are years older than him and make his own. To win a ball over Peterkin is no easy feat. That being said, I'm sure that's what he wants back. And if that's thrown a second time, my money is on Peterkin.
And now it is first and goal for Salve. Back corner end zone. Incomplete. And we'll see a replay on that.
I'd love to see the replay because that's the opposite corner of where we're standing right now. It looks like it's second down, but this was a much nicer delivered ball. The ball placement is there. He gave his receiver a chance to make a play. The receiver goes up. He gets, we're waiting to see, 1 foot down, 1 foot out. That's a catch in the CFL, but FPF is better than the CFL, so that's not a catch here.
The back heel might have been out from the
Why is FPF better than the CFL, Mo?
I can't tell you because I work for the CFL. And now it is a base formation for Salve looking towards his left slant in. That's caught and just shy of the end zone. St. Laurent is tackled by number 8 of the X-Men in Jackson Cooper.
A very interesting route there by St. Laurent. Look at him. He's going to step off the line casually. One step, and then explodes out of his break, creating separation despite looking so nonchalant to start the playoff. Really, a fantastic route by St. Laurent. And more than anything, Salve is looking better. And if you look, his arm angle has actually changed. He was throwing a lot of sidearm to start the game. He's now going for a classic over-the-top delivery, and everything is looking far better.
Brian Cooper has 7 tackles, 1 INT during the regular season. Salve out, caught, touchdown. And Belfroid gets his first catch of the day, had 13 for the season, 1 touchdown. And off they have liftoff. It is a 6-0 lead for LRV.
It's a 6-0 lead. That being said, they milked a lot of time off the clock. If you're LRV, you're a group of alpha athletes going up, with all due respect to X-Men, what looks to be a bunch of teenagers. Are you surprised about the veracity of this X-Men defense? Are you worried about your prospects going forward? Has this taken the wind out of your sails? Did you go in expecting to score at ease? We'll see. 1 point convert coming up.
And we'll see if Salve can end off this masterclass with an extra point, and he does. And Nick Knox taking Owen Rourke to school in that play, and now we get our first window of opportunity from the X-Men, who scored 382 points in the regular season, so about 838 points per game. And you talk about a good defense here. LRV only giving up about 17 points per game. That's
a fantastic defense. So what I love about this X-Men team is they're a young group of players, but they have the smarts of Garma Sumidaham. We'll get that name right, I'm very sorry. They have the smarts of these FPF veterans.
And that's a catch right there. Noah Swaminathan with the catch. And it'll be tackled by not 1 but 2 LRV players. And it'll be second and about 8 coming up, if not 9.
Yeah, so what I was saying, and I'm very sorry for cutting you off on the play there.
Swaminathan, yes.
Swaminathan, I was trying. Is the play calling and a lot of the coaching is coming from the sidelines from Garma, who is an FPF veteran. And really, it's a team that plays smart beyond their years and is dominant because of those smarts.
Devine at quarterback had 35 touchdowns, 2 INTs during the regular season. Base formation now for the X-Men. Now a hitch pass left, that's caught, and Knox had him dead to rights. Now going towards for a couple yards is Alex Lessard, and he was legitimate dead to rights in a cul-de-sac, and somehow was able to smuggle his way out of that deluge of white to get himself 3 yards, and now it will be a 2nd and 7 coming up here for the X-Men, or 37, I beg your pardon, coming up for the X-Men.
And I don't think the X-Men want to be in a 3rd and 7 situation. This is a team which prides itself on its ability to slowly move the chains. 3rd and 7 is slightly out of their comfort zone. Let's see what they draw up, but I would be a little bit worried.
Quads left. Devine looking, firing, pumping, rolling to his right, trying to buy time on the end sidelines, and that's picked off.
It is not picked off.
Flag on the play, so that ball will not be an interception. But
illegal forward pass.
So we 4th down.
So at that point, was the previous play a run?
We'll see right there on the highlight.
So no, sorry. The play before this one was 2nd down a run.
Oh, it was a hitch play on that was deemed as a pass.
Yes, but my question was, it looked like there was an inability to take off. He looked frozen behind the line of scrimmage and did not want to use his legs because he could have easily ran for at least 3-4 yards there.
Well, it's in the past now, Mr.
It is in the past.
So we have to look forward now in this situation. It'll be 4th down coming up for X-Men. They go with the overload to the left of 4. Peterkin's the 3rd receiver to the left of Devine. And now here's his chance. Looking for the 1st down over the jungle. And that is incomplete. Forget in, and that is now caught.
That is caught.
And it looked like it bounced off. So he got the ball 1st down now at the 30-yard line.
You can really tell that Emerson Peterkin is not only a dominant flag player, but a dominant tackle football player. He survived contacting that one. He got railed in the back.
35 catches, 9 touchdowns during the regular season for 416.
And it wasn't the contact with either the defender or the ground that was knocking that ball free of his grasp. He was hanging on to it. He was hanging on to the 1st down. Peterkin will be a difference maker all throughout this game.
And we'll see now. He's playing the wide receiver to the wide right. Devine. Jet pass, and here's a chance for a throw. And that is caught inside the plus territory. This time caught by number 2 in own work. Swaminathan in on the pass as he showed a little bit of the quarterback skills in his repertoire.
And that was gorgeous. That was a perfectly created play. You created the motion, confused the opposing defense. And what impressed me the most was the arm talent by Noah Swaminathan. He unloaded over the top. Perfect little corkscrew there into a pocket under pressure on the run. That's not an easy pass to make for someone who is running as a running back. Very impressed.
So Devine now 7 yards out, looking to the left, firing. That's caught over the middle. Swaminathan tackled by Terrien, and they'll be inside the red zone at the 7-yard line, depending if it's red zone or not.
We'll see if this is red zone or not. This X-Men team is the kind of team that I feel like will excel in the red zone. They're all about timing and spacing, and when they get to stretch an opposing defense and really limit their options and force them into predictable defenses, I feel like they're going to be at their best.
That is red zone 4. The X-Men offense, again, keeping with the overload of 4. Swaminathan now flexing back to the right, to the left to see if it's man-to-man. It is indeed. Can they find the right man? And the right man was not there. That ball was overcooked from Devine to Swaminathan. It'll be 2nd down coming up.
Again, I love what this X-Men team is doing. You can tell the experience of Gautama Swaminathan on the sidelines. He's motioning around to distinguish if it's man or a zone defense. It was clearly man. What I saw in the last play was the snapper, Justin, sprouting open immediately, looked to create traffic crossing routes with Justin appearing underneath those crossing routes. For the score on this play, keep your eyes peeled. Number 3. It smells like a score.
So Devine has a quads right. Firing short. That's caught, dropped. Owen Rourke looking up ahead, caught in 2 minds. And we talk about this juncture of a season, those drop balls could be detrimental to a team's hopes.
Simply put, before the finals, what I tell my team is that in the finals, mistakes are magnified. Mistakes change seasons. You don't need to make extraordinary plays. You need to not make mistakes. That was a first mistake for X-Men. It will all be forgotten if they score a touchdown here. If not, that's a play you'll look back on for weeks and months.
Devine, firing one. Peterkin. He's knocked over, and this will be at the 1-yard line with a delayed flag, which will make it automatic 1st down no matter what.
Yes.
As he got rocked by Nick Knox.
I'm wondering, so I have unequivocal that that's a flag. Let's see a replay on this one. I am not sure a 2nd foot came down in bounds. That being said, I'm 100% sure that the flag on this play is well deserved.
And we'll see from that angle. We can't see if he had 1 or 2 feet in, but nonetheless, though, the extracurriculars of that contact will give them a 1st down, though.
Exactly. A 1st down at the 1-yard line. So there's a play here I love. You have your 2 receivers on the left-hand side of the field running drags at 1 or 2 yards. Your snapper running an out at 0 yards.
He was close.
I think that was 1 foot in. It is regardless.
So once again, they will go with the quads left, trying to do the overload, and the quick pass right there. Bright and beautiful start for the X-Men, swarming out and in on the touchdown, and now it is a 7-6 lead for LRV.
See, and that's what I love so much about this X-Men team. They just got rocked. They got hit. They didn't get hot-headed. They didn't get upset. They didn't start trash-talking. And we see a lot of teams guilty of getting their emotions in the mix. They executed, they were clinical, and they made a huge play to score exactly when it was needed.
The Vines, the tie. They got it. We're back to parity at 7-7. So both teams off to a flyer with their agenda of scoring points in the first drive. And now we go back to Salve here and what he can come up. We saw him use the flats quite a bit in his first drive. Do we see a little melange of going over the middle now?
Look, this is a team which has the speed and the size. What I love to see Les Renards Vifs try is to see how they match up against some of these smaller defenders. If we're looking at the right-hand side of this X-Men defense, there isn't a ton of size. If we start throwing some jump balls and contested passes, what is the outcome? Is that too risky, or is that a surefire way to come down with some big yards, looking like man defense here on first down?
Salve going deep left, one-on-one. Easy catch, and a first down plus the flag and one. And they'll move it up towards the lip of the goal line. But a massive ball thrown down the left sideline. And right there, they open up the account of the deep ball in their favor.
So the second I saw X-Men lining up in a man defense set against this electrifying LRV offense, I was worried. LRV sounds like a high-speed French rail system, and that high-speed French train ran right through this X-Men defense.
In Quebec or in France?
LRV specifically sounds like TGV.
So we're looking, we're in Marseille, Nice, we're looking
a
in
Côte
Paris.
d'Azur Express line is what I'm picturing right here. That being said,
so in Monaco, I guess? Or is that what you would say?
finishing in Monaco, but lounging the coast, starting in that Barcelona region, going along. Anyways, the long story short of that one is no more man defense, please, X-Men. It is a bad idea.
Phil Serral in on the catch, and he's playing the width to the left of the formation. They're looking to go up by 6. Saint Laurent started the drive, and he ends it off with a touchdown. And now it's back up to a 13-7 lead. And Phil Saint Laurent had 15 touchdowns on 33 catches, so almost a TD for every 2 catches. And you saw right there, his second catch being a touchdown.
So, X-Men, I'm not talking to Mo right now. I'm talking to the X-Men. You are trying to man up against one of the most dominant teams in FPF right now, with receivers and athletes across the board. Man is not your solution. You have superior smarts and the best coaches in the game. Win with your smarts and your ability in zone defense. Don't go athlete to athlete.
13-7 lead, going for the 2-point convert to make it a 2-score game. Salve incomplete. So it remains 13-7. And now it is the X-Men's turn here as they look to as LRV looks to deny their moment in this next drive here. But again, for X-Men, they went to a lot of quads left, a lot of quads right. Do you think that might be the course of action throughout the course of this game?
I think X-Men are worried about LRV's ability to take away their shiftiness with man coverage. By running quads formations, you're creating so much traffic and jumbled areas where man becomes an extremely hard defense to run. That's why I love their quads call.
And they keep the quads left. Divine rolling to his right over the middle. Peterkin's got it, and he is going to be taken not by 1 but 2 LRV players. It took a little bit longer than expected as he got 7 yards on the play, and he was brought down by number 3 for LRV and number 15 in Saint Laurent.
More than taken. Let's call it what it was, Mo. He was held by the LRV defenders on the play. He was slowed down. That being said, I don't like that pass. That is a risky cross-body throw from Levine. Early in the game, don't force the ball. Don't throw it across your body. Save that for miracles at the end. Play safe. Let's see if they do here.
Trips right now for Divine. Looking, pumping, rolling to his right. He's going to take off with his afterburners on. He gets by 1 and couldn't get by the second player as he was forced out just at the midfield stripe, and it'll be into the plus territory of LRV.
Now that is a key matchup to watch on the evening. Levine on that one was able to not win with his arm, but win with his ability to evade the rusher. He pumped, he bought time, he scrambled. If this LRV team wants to run man defense, that all starts with their rusher's ability to contain the quarterback. You cannot run a man defense if your rusher cannot take away the run threat.
It'll it'll be what it is right now. If they can contain that, we'll find out now. It's in the plus territory for the first time in this drive. Second series here. They have a running back in Swaminathan who now will move the play paper now to the right, Divine. Rolling to his right. Now he evades, throws, incomplete. That ball was intended for Josh Swaminathan, and there's a flag. Another illegal forward pass, so a loss of down. So that's twice he's done it. But that's something he's had even during the regular season where he would get to the line of scrimmage and play with fire.
He's playing with fire in those calls, and I don't like these design rollouts. I think I'm actually putting the blame here on the coaching staff. Don't design a rollout run option play when you don't have the ability to run. There's no reason to have a running back in the backfield when you ran on the last play and cannot run. You're using a running back when you're not allowed to run the football. Mo, do you see a logic there?
The logic is definitely suitable from your end here, Mr. Dubois. Maybe a quads or right coming up for Divine. Plenty of time to work with. Rolling to his right. Will he take off? He will indeed. Into the 20, into the 15, and he's tackled by Fargette and tackled at the 13-yard line. So he'll be short of the first down, so it'll be a 3rd and 1 coming up for X-Men.
Look, I told you before, the matchup we need to watch. Right now, the reason X-Men are consistently winning is Levine's extracurricular, and by extracurricular, I mean ability with his legs. If you can take away his ability to produce time and yards with those legs, LRV win this game. That is my matchup right now.
And you have to wonder if that could be the key to victory here for Divine, and by having the legs as the improvisation for him to work with. Base formation now. Peterkin is the second receiver to the right of the attack. Slant in. That is caught by Swaminathan, and that will be enough for a first down. Just shy. Oh, now in the 10th will be 1st and goal coming up.
1st and goal coming up, and what I love to see there is very quickly diagnosing LRV and man coverage. Diagnosed by the coaching staff here in Swaminathan, and then realizing that what you need to run to beat that man coverage is those drags and those quick in-breaking routes. That is a formula to success. What I love about this X-Men team is they execute the game perfectly. That was perfect execution. Let's hope they keep on executing perfectly because it is a glorious thing to watch.
That's what they call the X-Men. Jet sweep. Swaminathan's going to take off, and he'll do a little slalom move in the skiing world, and he'll get maybe 1, if not 2 yards on the play. Very close to being red zone for the X-Men with about 2:33 left in this first half.
So, Mo, well, in the skiing world, that might be called a slalom move. In the FPF world, that is simply referred to as a dip. A fantastic play. Great to see some advanced moves being worked into these teams at such a young age. Again, a very well coached and high-performing team. I haven't seen this team play in person in quite some time. I am impressed.
Swaminathan now flexing out to the wide width of the left. And now Divine trying to get himself another 6 more points to work with. Looking, waiting, rolling to his right. Buying time, cross body, Peterkin, touchdown. Quite the guile on that play, and a flag and another illegal forward pass. That's a hat trick in the first half through 2 drives.
And more than just a hat trick, that's a risk every single time. There is no reward that can be generated from an illegal forward pass, whereas it could cost you an interception. This team needs to start being smarter with where they're throwing their balls, and for me, it's as simple as taking your snap 2 to 3 yards further back.
Well, my young man, it comes with experience, I guess. We'll see now.
Experience they do have, but need slightly more of.
Well, now we'll see how this plays out with the quads right. Divine caught, and that's in for work. Touchdown, and that was 6 during the regular season. And he had 31 catches, and now we're back to 13-13. And that was a sapping drive on offense here, as you see from the replay coming in from him.
So it was a sapping drive. That sap, the sapping out of this LRV defense is actually sweet. It's maple syrup sap, because now they have an ability to score with the final drive and milk the remainder of the clock. The sap is sweet. Let's see how sweet the 1-point convert is.
To get the lead for the first time tonight in this Div D1 final. Base formation. Divine going to the right. And X-Men have their lead of a 14-13 lead. And right there, it is now LRV and Trail.
LRV and Trail, and more than that, X-Men have identified where they're winning in man coverage. Noah Swaminathan against number 34, Joel Terrien, is a W for this X-Men team, and they've kept on coming back to it with slants and motions and outbreaking routes. They have found a way to win against man, and unless this LRV team changes something, expect Noah Swaminathan to eat all day long.
The vibrancy and freedom approach here by both teams has been evident and through the first 4 drives. Salve rolling to his left. Far middle, almost picked off.
Picked off!
Divine on that, and during the regular season he had 3 INTs, and right there his radar picked it up, and a crucial mistake by LRV as you see from the replay.
Mo, that's not a crucial mistake. That is a tremendous mistake. What that means is that X-Men just scored. On the next play, they get the ball back, could score again, take the ball back, and start on offense with the ball. That is 3 scores they could put up now in a row. This is a game-changing moment.
Potentially without reply.
Yes.
Without reply. So now it's a question, how do you... Now you're in 5 plays. How do you go about with it? Do you try and milk it down to the last play and score and not give them any hope?
They punch it in.
And they're at the 9-yard line. A chance to now extend the lead to give themselves a little bit of gloss before the end of the first half. Divine, short pass up ahead, and a pirouette move right there by Justin Swaminathan, and that will be inching closer towards the goal line and perhaps 6 more points.
Yeah, this X-Men team is impressing. You see spectators on the sideline looking, nodding their heads. They don't look the part, but they most definitely play the part. They have the smarts and the execution. Red zone, so no run ability. Let's keep a very close eye on that line of scrimmage. Will Levine cross it before he throws?
We'll see what Divine does now in this situation here. It is 14-13 lead for X-Men over LRV. And the storyline being controlled by the X-Men, the team in navy blue. Divine. Rolling to his right. He likes doing that. He evades the first rush. Crossbody. Peterkin skying up there. And Peterkin will be stopped short at the 3-yard line. And now it's 3rd down coming up for the X-Men.
Not only was he stopped short, he had his shorts nearly pulled off. Very dangerous play right there. But that's a nice diagnosis to make sure they aren't crossing the line of scrimmage. And again, what's impressed me from Divine is his ability to throw the ball across his body with precision and velocity. Both of those have made what is normally a dangerous, risky throw, which you wince when you see, to be a difference maker because he's found receivers cross his body for key plays.
Base formation again for X-Men. Could they punch it in for 6? Divine. Fake jet sweep, rolling to his left. He's got plenty of time to work with. Peterkin crossing, still with time. No one attacking him. And that's an easy touchdown for Noah Swaminathan, and he makes it a 20-13 lead with 1 or 2 plays left.
Mo, let's take a look at that replay because, frankly, I am bamboozled. Where did the LRV rusher go? We all know, LRV knows, you need a rusher in FPF. That is the most important defensive player. I think he followed Noah Swaminathan on his drag, leaving Divine all alone for what is unequivocally the easiest touchdown pass he has ever thrown. Heck, Mo, me or you could have thrown that touchdown pass.
Well, I think you could have thrown that touchdown pass.
I think you could have thrown that touchdown pass.
Perhaps. Well, again, that was a moment there, injecting the pace here, and the question remains for the X-Men is, can they get another extra point to make it a 21-13 lead? And they prevent, and they won't that time for LRV, and if they prevent LRV from scoring here, as you said before, they get the ball back at the start of the second half, and they would have gone pretty much on a 13-0 run without a reply going towards the second half.
It's going to be a 13-0 run, potential to make it more. That being said, I have a question for this X-Men team, who are so smart, and we've praised so highly. Why go for 1 to make it an 8-point game when you go for 2 and make it, an 8-point game? Yes, right now they went for 1 to make it 8 points. They could have gone for 2 to make it 9. The question begs to be asked, but we'll see if it pays off in the long run or not.
Salve, well, last action of the first half. He will take off to the left. Salve. Rourke will force him out of bounds, so he will get 1 more, enough for a first down. He got about 11, if not 12 yards on that play.
So this is a situation which I don't think is ideal for X-Men. They are a team which excels defensively, who knows their matchups, but with the size of this LRV team, I'm looking at them right here on the field. I've got Knox, Castonguay, Saint Laurent, big bodies, big hands, and an expressive ability to make up yards in the air. We know that Emerson Peterkin is a ball hawk, but he can only take away half the field. You throw one body at Peterkin, throw one body on the other side, throw a jump ball. Who are you targeting?
Well, you have to figure it might be Saint Laurent, who had a lot of touchdowns as they go with the trips right. Salve, backing up, double rush, high into the skyline. Peterkin almost had it, and it went by Nick Knox. And at the end of the first half, X-Men having the lead of 20-13 here in this first half.
So Peterkin missed that ball. if you didn't notice, behind Peterkin, there was actually Knox. He screened Peterkin, but there is a scenario where since Peterkin missed that ball, they could have come tumbling down with that catch. Now, at the half, we've had a fantastic run by X-Men now. Between the interception, the 2 scores, this has been the dream end to the second half. They're in the driver's seat, up by a score, with the ability to go up by 2. This is where you want to be in a championship game, no?
No question about that, and just want to double check the scoreline. It is 21-13 for those who are watching at home right now. Alexi Dubois, Mocon here. Look, it is now 2 scores without a reply, and perhaps this opening drive of the second half, could this determine the fate of LRV if they cannot stop X-Men?
If you asked me this question 2 years ago, the answer is an unequivocal yes. My answer right now is no. As good as this X-Men offense has looked, we've seen them get pushed to 4th down. We've seen them struggle by crossing the line of scrimmage, illegal forward pass. We've seen them struggle a little bit in the red zone. They have been great. They haven't been perfect. And when you're not perfect as an offense, what happens is, let's say you make a mistake 1 play out of 7. At a certain point, those mistakes line up, accumulate. You get 2, 3 mistakes on the same drive, the same set of downs. That creates turnovers. And this game, if X-Men score on their next drive, is 1 X-Men mistake away from being a tied game, and the onside kick is the greatest equalizer in FPF history. So this game is a mistake, an onside kick, or an explosive play away from being tied up. So no, a score does not mean game over, but it means LRV are on the back foot, and they have the responsibility to make something electrifying happen, which I can't wait to see.
Well, they'll be in deep red ink, pretty much, which could be a big eyesore for them in trying to get themselves a chance to win this game here. It is Alexi Dubois, it is Mocon here from Papineau. We are at halftime of the Division D-1 finals between X-Men and Les Renards Vifs from Papineau. And that's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out now, moving towards the final 22 plus 5 plays, and what the game plan is for LRV. What do they change? Because on offense, it felt like they had a good rhythm, but then it's kind of got off course by the INT.
Look, Mo, I can't help but feel that LRV were taken by surprise. They saw X-Men's record, but this is a team which is full of confidence, full of swagger, and full of dominant athletes. I'm sure they came into this game expecting to win in man coverage, expecting to win in space, and expecting to win in the air. They've not been able to win in man coverage. They've not been able to win in space, but in the air, they still have an advantage. I think their issue, and this could sound very counterintuitive, is a lack of aggressiveness.
Right.
They have an ability to stretch the field both with size and speed, an ability they have not been exercising to the fullest. So LRV, what you need to do is use that ability to stretch the field, and we're going to have a chance to see it very soon, but I think X-Men are starting with the ball.
Well, let's see the second half now coming up between X-Men and LRV as we get ready for the second half here from Papineau, and we'll see what this will play out for them.
We'll see what will play out for them. We're getting cameras on the field right now. For this X-Men team, the word of the day is caution. They need to play smart, safe football. We've seen teams with large leads evaporate in the second half. We've seen far larger leads than this one evaporate on this final Sunday here from Papineau.
And now it is a chance for Divine. Rolling, picked off. Well read. And a massive play on a massive moment from a massive player. And this could change the complexion of the team as a game, as you said before here.
It's entirely changed the complexion of this entire game. That being said, it was a nice pick. Credit given. But look at it on the replay. Divine panics. He has his receivers taken away. He has an ability to scramble. And instead of throwing the ball away, as I'm sure he wished he did, he tried to throw it to the ground, but instead threw it right into the hands of LRV, giving them a much-needed foothold back into this game. More than that, a chance to score and even, dare I say, take the lead.
First and goal. They now have the hammer to perhaps score and tie. Salve firing over the middle. That's caught, and that will be tackled just shy of the end zone line. And that was caught by Bernier Cloutier. And during the regular season, he had 21 catches and 7 touchdowns.
Have you felt the momentum shift? Because I feel it. I feel it very strongly right now. This X-Men team, hands on head, quite literally, they are not exuding positive energy at the moment.
It's a test of fiber now. It's a test of nerve, right?
Exactly.
Can they overcome this test?
And they have to realize that while they made a mistake, they played such a good first half that they allowed themselves one mistake. It has been made. There are no mistakes left.
LRV asking questions. Salve rolling to the right. Middle. Touchdown. And just like that, it is now a 21-19 game. And you see a nice catch right there for a touchdown by Bernier Cloutier. And now, do you go for one? Do you go for two? Is it early enough to go for two? Or do you want to go with one?
You most definitely go for two. As an athlete, a competitor, you hate being down. There's nothing that makes you feel worse. Your stomach feels upset. Your hairs are standing on end. You want to tie up the game. You don't want to fall behind on these extra point converts. They have an ability to go for two right now and tie up this game. They have the arm strength and the athletes. You go for two. They are going for two.
Could they retract the scoreline? Salve, back line end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Saint Laurent.
A bit of hand fighting on both sides there. Let's take a look at the replay. It felt like, honestly, both receivers pushed off each other a little bit. I am very happy with the call not to throw any flags. A bit of pushing and shoving. This is the finals. Let two dominant players play. Let's take a look and see if the replay agrees with the analysis.
And now will be a trips right left coming up here from the replay, back end zone, and a little too much depth on that pass. Work on the catch and the slant, and he's tackled right away for about a 5-yard gain, if not a little bit less than
It's
that.
really nice to see X-Men getting back into a rhythm. Those slants and ability to produce yards after the catch are their bread and butter. So after a costly pick, where Divine was scrambling in the pocket, it's so nice to see him hit throws with timing and anticipation. That is what the doctor ordered, and that is what the X-Men need more of.
X-Men taking a blow to the jaw. They have a quads left. They won the winter season title, and now here is Divine. That is caught on the slant this time. Over the middle is number 6 and Alex Lessard, as he was brought down by a plethora of LRV players, and it'll be close to now being a 3rd and 1 coming up.
This is the calming and veteran experience of Gautama Somidadam on the sidelines. This is him calming down his team, getting his quarterback into a rhythm, and really rescuing them from the depths of that interception. This is what they need to do. They need to consistently move the ball. Let's see if they can do it on 3rd.
Sticking to the principles, going with the quad right. Divine rolling to his left. First down and more inside the plus territory, and he'll be at the 23.5-yard line of the LRV territory.
Divine is at his best when he has the run in his back pocket. He doesn't need to use it, but he feels so much more comfortable when that line of scrimmage isn't a gaping menace against him. It's not an uncrossable chasm. When he has the option to run or pass, he has both, and he really tends to make the best decision. When we've seen problems, when we've seen mistakes, is when he feels like he doesn't have the ability to either run or pass. He panics and creates issues.
And again, quads left for X-Men. Peterkin, the second receiver to the left of the formation. Divine looking, waiting, rolling to his right, stopping, jabbing. Now to his left, over the middle, caught by Swaminathan. And Forget in on the tackle. Swaminathan was taken down for about a 4-yard gain inside the 19-yard line.
Exactly, and I'm so happy there. Divine scrambled, but was able to find a receiver. That ability to reset your feet, flip those hips, flick your wrist, and get the ball there into space to at least gain a yard or two. To turn what was looking like a negative play in the backfield into a positive outcome is what makes this team so dangerous, because they're never down and out.
Again, quads left. Divine. Pumping. Open. Swaminathan toe tapping his way through. And a perfect Cirque du Soleil finish on that catch. And enough for a first down, as you see from the replay.
It was a gorgeous catch. The ball, that being said, was delivered as though there was press coverage. Look, right on the sidelines, forcing Noah Swaminathan to tap those toes. If that ball was delivered a few more yards inside the field, I think you might be yelling touchdown, Mo, instead of Cirque du Soleil catch. It was a great throw if there was press coverage. He could have made the job slightly easier on his receiver. That being said, the result is a first down.
And they are inside the goal to go here. This will be 1st and goal for the X-Men. They'll go with the quads right once more.
But outside the red zone.
So now they're outside the red zone. So that was readjusted, and now it is Divine. Picked off and caught by Peterkin, and a flag on the play.
This feels like a flag guarding call. His trailing right arm was behind him, swatting a ray. And yes, we see the time-tested veteran referee, Jason Leclerc, flag guarding.
A blush of a moment here for Peterkin, and they'll move it back. The yards are gainable. They'll move it back from wherever he was the flag, or the point of contact of where the flag was, and they'll move it back 5.
So the big question here. Yeah, there we go. So that's what I was listening for. What Jason just announced is that the point of the flag guarding penalty was inside the red zone. So they were inside the red zone and then moved backwards. So while they're now scrimmaging from the 12-yard line, they are inside the red zone, which means for all my FPF newbies out there, they cannot run. The run is dead.
And now we pass option only. Trips left. Play action. Middle. Caught. And this will be tackled rather quickly. And this time it is Justin Swaminathan who was taken down by not one but two LRV players. So this is a bigger drive for who? LRV or for X-Men?
This is a key drive for X-Men because the fact that LRV didn't get the 2-point convert means there's a 2-point gap right now. A score makes it an 8-point game. Going for one to make this a 9-point game is massive for this X-Men team. This is a game-defining drive if and only if they can punch it in.
Devine to the left. Caught by Swaminathan, and he torques his body through, and he's down at the 2.5-yard line, and that was Noah Swaminathan who caught that ball.
A fantastic catch, an even better move. Now, it is coming down to a critical 4th down. The biggest play of the game so far. There will be bigger ones to come, but so far, this is your biggest play. You know LRV are running man coverage. You're going to your man beater plays. Who is your go-to man on this huge 4th down, and why is it Emerson Peterkin?
South of 14 minutes left. Quads left. Is Peter going to be called? No. Swaminathan's number is called, and he's short. Do you challenge?
I would challenge that play. Because for me, you need an ounce of a flag or a ball into the end zone. Let's see on the replay here.
And
very hard to get an angle on this.
And here's the other angle right here.
So give us a better clue here. The white line is the goal line.
He was stopped before.
I think he was in.
I think it was stopped because
I think he was in, but we will see. It appears that there is no decision to challenge on the play here.
Salve, could they get back into pole position? St. Laurent using a couple of long steps as he gets by not one but two X-Men players. Divine in on the tackle.
St. Laurent with saintly moves. Mo, what are your thoughts not to challenge there?
I would love to see that replay again from the other angle and what that was, because it looked like it was short. So it definitely was short from according to the truck.
Eagle at master control. I've learned one of the things in my time here at FPF. Eagle is never wrong. If Eagle says they were short, they were short.
Salve pumping to the left. Running, close down. And he is taken down by Swaminathan. And this will be probably for a 1st down. And they'll move the sticks once more.
Moving the sticks, look. Les Renards Vifs are still not in the driver's seat of this game. They've had key stops. They've shifted the momentum. Don't get me wrong. The momentum is now firmly on the side of what I call that French high-speed train. But they're now up a break in tennis terms. But to consolidate that break, they need to punch in the touchdown.
They could be a runaway train right now if they can hit this score as they're down by 2. Salve to the right sidelines. Terrien catching at the 31-yard line. And it makes it now an easier situation, down by 3 yards for 1st down.
I must say, I'm very worried about the knees of Terrien. Please check the field for any excess tissue, blood, or scars. That did not look pleasant. While it didn't look pleasant, his knees took the brunt of it. It was a gorgeous catch.
And with that, it'll be a 3rd and about 3.5 coming up for LRV. A big money play here for them to prolong this drive and keep this offense on the sidelines for the X-Men. Base formation for Salve.
What appears to be man coverage from the X-Men defense.
Salve looking towards the deep left side, 50-50, and that came up second best for St. Laurent on that play. It will now be 3rd down, I beg your pardon, coming up for the LRV attack.
This X-Men team is proving me wrong. I am worried about their abilities in man coverage, and Gautam has looked at me and said, no, Alexi, you are wrong. I trust my guys. We are the better athletes. And they are sticking with their call on man coverage. And frankly, that time, it was the right call. The DB was on the receiver like glue. It forced the throw, which was high into the outside. It was the only spot the ball could be put. And it was all because of the man coverage. And from the way we see Divine lining up here in the slot, it appears to be man coverage once again.
Trips.
Movement.
Sorry about that. Trips right for Salve. Firing one. And a laser beam right there for Knox. Tackled by Peterkin, enough for a 1st down in the plus territory. And now you're starting to see LRV starting to ask questions, starting to tighten the screw in this game here, even though they're down by 2.
Tighten the screw or open the door? For me on that play, Peterkin was half a second away from a season and championship-defining interception. Let LRV throw those passes, I say, if I'm the X-Men defense. Let them throw those passes because I trust my athletes to gain that half second on the next play and turn that into a pick instead of a first down catch.
You think about that, right? They have the momentum at the end of the first half. Open drive, INT, points. They come up short now in the red zone, and could this be points for LRV? Here's Salve, laser, and that had too much fizz on that pass. Intended for Saint Laurent, and it'll be second down coming up for LRV.
The laser is a bit too red hot, and if you think of a laser, you think of a perfect straight beam, and that's what that ball was. It zipped no arc right over his receiver. There was a bit too much sauce on that. You feel like the pressure of the finals might be boiling over just a little bit there because LRV knows they need this score.
Well, the geometry was not perfect on that play. Let's put it that way.
Geometry or trigonometry?
The geometry on that play. And now Salve looking towards his left, and he goes there. That is caught, and touchdown. Bernier Cloutier getting the touchdown right there, and a lovely out route by him. And just like that, they're up by a score 25-21.
And more than just a lovely out route, a lovely ability after the catch to dip, to dive, to turn what's a nice catch into a touchdown. Those are championship-making plays.
Breathing fire are LRV, and they have X-Men in a cul-de-sac now, unable to score any points since the end of the first half. And the question now comes up for X-Men is what do they have planned on their next drive, pending the extra point? And this is going forward, a 2-point convert. Salve, caught,
dropped. So that is a big drop. It is now a 4-point spread. X-Men can score, take a 2-point lead. They need to maintain this lead, but more than that, there's time left on the clock. This is now becoming a time management game, a situation game, something X-Men threw at. This game is now about safe control. They don't need explosive plays. They don't need to stretch the field. They need to do what they've been doing all season long, which is exploiting overloads and slants in those short and intermediate zones.
Well, now it's a Route 1 finish here for X-Men. They need to score 6. They regain the lead. They were down. They had the lead momentum, and that INT early in the second half by Devine has changed the storyline. Somaneddin, fire pass, Rourke on a 2-catch, and that will be enough for a first down. We'll see where it's marked off. And Dance Inertia is marking it off past the first down marker. That should be enough as he marks off first down.
Those are the kind of plays that you need to go your way in the championship game. That kind of bobble, there's 2 outcomes. Either you bobble it back into your own hands, or you bobble it for a devastating and season-ending pick. The fact that X-Men there caught just a mini break. They bobbled the pass, but they were able to retain their bobble, retain their cool. They need those kind of breaks to continue going their way if they want to climb back out of this one.
Quads left. It's almost a botch right there. Divine pressure. He will try to get to Somaneddin, and that play was a disaster from start to finish.
And the rusher there, who is Castonguay, believes he had the sack on Divine. I would tend to agree. We can see if there's a replay incoming. Is it, in your opinion, worth a challenge on a play so small as a sack, or you save that challenge for something bigger?
This game is still in the balance right now for what the scoreline is, and you can ill afford to lose that challenge because you want to have that in the back pocket going towards.
I fully agree, but
the game.
For the record, I'm gonna say that was a sack.
And now it's a quads right for Divine in this attack. Can he compose himself and craft something here with his artillery to work with? Over the middle, picked off. And away they go, and away they come. And a stunning collapse for the X-Men as they had been handcuffed in this second half. And now a chance for LRV to really put the final screw into this game against X-Men.
Wow. The air just drained from this X-Men team. They've started leaving a spy, this LRV defense, in the middle of the field. That ability to take away those short crossing routes, jumble up those quad looks is huge. That being said, that pick was nearly dropped. I talked about drops needing to go X-Men's way. That drop there did not go their way. The bobble stayed in the hands of LRV. They now have the ball. They are up 4 points. A score puts them up 10 points, an ability to get 12. That is huge.
And you can start seeing the coaching staff a little bit irritated.
A little bit of chippiness over here.
And now a chance for Salve and the LRV roster. Going for the kill shot. Knux is incomplete. And right there, Somanathan in on the coverage. Good 50-50 battle. And it came up second best for LRV.
Second best, and this game's getting chippy, Mo. It's getting verbal. It's getting heated. It is feeling like a finals. That was a contested ball there again.
It is the finals here, Alexi.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I didn't know. Someone should have told me that before. My word. I'd have dressed better if I knew it was a finals.
Yeah.
Jeepers, creepers. But again, that's one more of those balls, those 50-50 balls, where both receivers are equally physical with each other. And that, for me, is a good no flag.
Second down coming up for LRV. Salve has options. Middle. Caught. Touchdown in traffic. And a massive play. 31-21 lead. And a 2-score advantage. And they have now gone, I believe, 18 without reply by the X-Men.
If you had to ask me how I saw the second half going, after that tremendous X-Men end to the second half, this would not be my answer.
Bernie Kluche, second touchdown in the second half.
We've got to start thinking finals MVP. Cloutier being a leader there. We have the Sharks walking in front of us, our DC team coming up next. This is a 1-point convert, which for me is a strange call. They're up by 10 right now. 2 puts you up 12. The 1-point convert, for all due respect, Mo, is useless.
Hey, we'll see what happens now. It trips left. Salve firing. Knox. Got it. As he boxes his way through over Somanathan. And now it's a 32-21 lead. And you're probably right here, Alexi. It might come back to haunt this team if the X-Men pull off the smash and grab in the second half with about 3:28 left.
Look, the X-Men know exactly what they need to do. There is, with all due respect, no stress on this X-Men team. There is a very clear path to victory. That path to victory is called touchdown, onside kick, touchdown. That is what they need to do. We all know that is what they need to do. Can they execute?
Somanathan on the handoff. Fire one to Peterkin. He dropped it. And you have to wonder now if the youthful exuberance of the X-Men is starting to show up at this juncture of the game with the game so tight.
That's a great call, Mo, because I feel like this team came in with so much fire and excitement and energy, and they peaked. They peaked at the end of the first half, and since that end of the first half, it has been a slow, gradual decline. We've seen bobbles, we've seen drops, we've seen miscues, we've seen picks, and that is now culminated in this 11-point lead for LRV.
It is Divine looking to pump left. Wheel deflected. And that was close to being picked off by Bernie Kluche, who's had a fabulous second half with a couple touchdowns. Celeron is in on the backup coverage as well.
There was a window there. There was a window in which that ball could have been fitted. The window was around the size of a page of paper. Divine was not able to fit it in there, and at this stage of the game, you have to feel like you need to be trying to make some slightly safer throws, because that throw will get picked off 1 time out of 3, defended 1 time out of 3, and a completion. It's not a wise move to make in such a tight window.
Divine rolling to his right. He's had 3 illegal forward passes. Now his end zone trying to buy time. Looking, directing traffic like a tenor. Now driving, juking towards the right. And he'll take off. And he's brought down. A massive play coming through this time from Castonguay. And you can start seeing that the confidence and arrogance of LRV is on display, knowing they have X-Men dead to rights.
More than that, that was a 3-yard gain. No one cares about the 3-yard gain. That was 20 seconds off the clock for X-Men. 20 seconds they will not, never, period, be getting back. That is what hurt most.
Ever again.
Ever.
Divine. Going to the left. First down and more. Somanathan will be tackled by Celeron and Bernie Kluche. Timeout called by the X-Men, so they stopped the clock with about a minute or so left in this game before 5
They
plays.
need to be careful, though, Mo. At this stage in the game, you need to remember, it can be very easy to call a second timeout. Calling a second timeout is as good as declaring forfeit, because you need that timeout to go for an onside kick. So at this stage of the game, you do not challenge, you do not call a timeout. You score a touchdown, and you go for an onside kick. That is the only
without reply so far.
Ow. Just ow.
About half an hour ago, you were talking about possession 1, possession 2 being X-Men scores, and possession 3 could be X-Men score.
And it's that possession 3 where everything went wrong. It was not as
for them.
And his possession 4 and 5. 3, 4, 5 have been big, bad, and badder for this X-Men team.
It's been disjointed for sure, and has not been easy in the eye for the X-Men, who have been very tigerish this season in terms of their attacking mind here.
But it's not over yet.
No, it's not. They need to score quickly here and get themselves an onside opportunity. And jet sweep again. Swaminathan looking for the pass, and he is going to be called for a hold. And they'll move it up here. And this will move it up by a few yards here. And there's a little bit of confusion if the clock stops.
The clock never stops. The clock's a tick, tick, ticking. We're moving up 5 yards. These X-Men are going as fast as they can. They need to score, in my opinion, before the 5 plays.
And they have to get the first down marker set. X-Men not happy about that, thinking that should have been done right away. Here is Devine. Over the middle, caught and tackled by Castonguay, by Saint Laurent. It is Lessard, and they are going to be working the no-huddle here to the end.
Tick, 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 tick. Do you hear that, Mo? That's the clock snapping away all the way down to 5 plays. The timing on that was pretty perfect, wasn't it?
5 plays here, and we are now in sudden death for X-Men.
They need to score. They don't need to score on the next play. They need to score on this play.
Yes. Devine, short left, through the hands of Lessard, and a wasted play right there.
A wasted play when plays are coming at a very high premium. The score needs to come now. That was an okay outcome if they gained a few yards and set themselves up for a position to score, but every single play now is one more nail in the X-Men coffin that they've dug their own grave at this point.
And you have to wonder now, can you get out of this grave?
They can. It's not impossible. There is a staircase lingering out, a small trail of breadcrumbs. Will they follow it?
Well, LRV's tightening the screws now on the casket. Over the middle, Rourke backing up, and he will get enough for a first down. And this will be at the first and goal coming up here for X-Men. But again, he just scored quickly.
A first down, Mo, is irrelevant. They can take away the first down marker because I do not care about it. The only marker that matters is the small 6-inch tall orange cone and the white hand line marking the front of this end zone here in Papineau. That is the line X-Men need to cross not once but twice in just 3 plays.
And now a chance here for X-Men. Can they score? Devine rolling to his right. Looking cross body. Picked off. Game, set, match. LRV. And they're about to win the Div D-1 championship.
Wow. That is 4 drives without response for this team. That being said, small mistake by LRV. The game isn't over. They ran out of the end zone instead of taking a knee, which means they do now need to run the final few plays.
And
nope.
Now, will they call it?
X-Men are calling the game.
They're calling it. LRV are your spring champions. And they win.
This is perhaps the most anticlimactic end of the game.
Lead.
LRV don't know the game is over. Now they do. Now they're champions.
A stunning collapse for X-Men. They were up 21-13, and LRV went 19 without reply from the X-Men.
This game had hints and smells of the Co-Ed 2 final. It was, by all means, a second half collapse. X-Men had no answer defensively, nothing going offensively. And while they tried to hang on and make it interesting in all, this LRV ability to adapt, overcome, and thrive under pressure is what separated them and turned that carbon into diamonds in the second half of this championship game.
Pressure makes diamonds, and the diamonds come up in LRV's favor.
If only you won diamonds for winning an FPF championship, and yet you do not. But you win a very nice banner and lots of bragging rights.
Could be a nice way of replacing diamonds.
And if you're Iggy Magnus, what we would want for an FPF championship would be a nice ring. And yet there are no rings, there are no diamonds. Let's go with Rob Quintana.
Récemment couronné champion de la division D2, les Renards Vifs. Donc félicitations les boys. Je présente le trophée de championnat au capitaine de l'équipe, Joël. Je te rien. Félicitations. Avec la bannière. dernière du championnat. Félicitations, guys. J'ai une dernière chose à présenter, c'est le Finals MVP. Ça va à Louis David Bernard Cloutier. Félicitations. Félicitations. Louis David, juste quelques petites paroles. Parle-nous un peu du match. C'était quand même un match assez proche du début à la fin. Parle-nous un peu du match.
Ah, c'est incroyable. Je pense que les boys ont fait une solide job, offensivement, défensivement. Grosse année de notre corps arrière. C'était fou, c'était incroyable.
Puis à la fin, l'interception pour to seal the deal. Parle-nous un peu de l'effort de l'équipe sur le côté défensif contre une équipe quand même qui se débrouille bien au côté offensif.
Ah, grosse game de notre rusheur, là, Ben, là, vraiment solide. C'est une affaire d'unité. On a travaillé ensemble toute l'année, puis ça a payé.
Right. Félicitations, Louis David. All right. Je retourne au booth. Merci, guys.
All right, so let's take it back here, Alexi, as we wrap it up. Very exuberant LRV roster here. Final thoughts on this game?
Simply wow. X-Men have been a clinical, mistake-free team all season, and that is what led them to a 9-1 record and a finals appearance. Perhaps their 4 worst drives of the season came one after another in the finals. And what's so heartbreaking about this is a team which has excelled and not made mistakes. To Renards Vifs credit, they capitalized, they forced mistakes. They had a fantastic game. One team turned it around, one team went downhill, and the outcome we see now is a celebrating Renards Vifs team.
A exuberant LRV team, and now for X-Men, they'll get ready for next year. They have now gone back-to-back finals in the seasons. In the winter season, they won. Spring, they come up short, and for LRV, we'll see what the future holds for them as we move forward towards Fall Cup and, of course, for the winter season.
2 exciting teams, so I can't wait to see more from.
No question. So on behalf of Alexi Dubois, Mocon, wish LRV congratulations. They win the D-1 title here in the spring season for 2023. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.